So I'm going to start out with yellow orange, then I'm going to do orange, and then I'm going to do red orange. So yellow orange is going to have mostly yellow in it, so we're going to get a lot of yellow. And I'm going to mix that. I'm going to just kind of put that into one of the corners of the Tupperware container. And this is where your color chart is going to start to come in handy. Pour that little extra in there. Okay. So now I'm going to get a little bit of red, but you don't want to get too much red. So you got to be careful with this. Start out with just a tiny little bit. Okay, put this down on your scratch paper because you want to test it. And then use your color chart and then just put the color over your test, and if it's looks, you know, if the hole just kind of disappears when you put it over, it's good. So that looks like it's pretty good. Okay, so I want to just like separate out a little bit of this. So well, first I'll just paint. So I'm here on yellow orange. Now another tip, don't put your hand on wet paint because then you smudge. So I don't think that's going to be too big of a problem though, because that's going to be in blue violet in the tone and the shade, but I should have been more careful about where I was resting my hand. Okay, so I'm just going to pull some of this paint over to one of the other corners here in the container. So I just want to have some of that I can add black to, and I want to have some that I can add the white and the black to. Okay. So adding white and black. Add a little more white. So first off is just white here for the tint. I want to test it out first before I paint it down. Make sure it's visibly different. Okay. I'm going to turn my paper so I don't put my hand in wet paint again. All right, and then a tiny bit of black. A little bit more. A little bit more. Get too much paint on your brush, just use your scratch paper to get the excess off. Now another thing you can do is if you like kind of let your paint dry and give it a couple of coats, you can kind of get your shade to darken up a bit. So it's another little trick. All right, so we have yellow, orange. Now we're going to do orange. So orange should be a little more red and a little less yellow than what you used for your yellow orange. And you can just kind of, if you're really careful, you want to be careful that your other paints are dry, that you don't have, the other paints aren't drippy. You can kind of tilt your paint and drip it right into your Tupperware container. So I need to be really careful about the amount of red that I get in this because I want to be sure that I'm not getting it too red. I probably need to do like one more dab. Yeah, it's still pretty yellow. A little more red. Oop. Another thing to be careful of, be careful when you can use your brush, kind of scrape it up against the side to get excess paint off, but be careful that you don't and splatter like what I just did right here. But the reason we're doing this color wheel first is just to get the hang of mixing the colors and handling the brush before you start working on your project. And these are the types of things that you'll learn as you're working with the paint. Still a little more red. I'm being a little bit very cautious here. Problem is, once you get almost to that point, it's real easy to take it over to, too much red, and then you have to keep working back and forth trying to get it just right. Okay, so orange looks like it's almost there. I think one more little dab of red should be good. Okay. I think that's probably pretty good.